My friend just told me his dad is 80. He walked into the kitchen the other day. He saw his dad squeezing his mom's
Hi, Cecil.
Hey, Tizera.
And I'm Jermaine.
And welcome back to Clarity's Hush Podcast.
Today's discussion, I can't believe we've never talked about this.
Right.
We know, you love when we talk about relationships, but we've never really talked about having temptation or desire for someone outside of your relationship.
Okay, we gotta be really, really honest in this episode, okay? Girls, is temptation normal in a relationship? Yes or no? 3, 2, 1.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's unavoidable. I think temptation is
Everywhere.
everywhere in life, but as we'll talk about that later in this episode as well, how can you deal with that? What's the best way to, I guess, work through that with your partner?
I guess my very first question for all of us here is it okay to find someone else attractive other than your partner?
Like, see only, right?
Yeah lah. Okay, if you see and you act on it, that's a whole different game.
Yes.
So, for example, I see I don't know who, Cha Eun-woo. I say he's attractive. Yeah, that's also, falling in this category.
Okay, but I think idols are okay. What if it's a colleague?
Okay, you're saying idols are okay because they are unreachable anyway.
Correct. They are like way
You
out
can't
of
do
our league.
anything even if you wanted to.
Correct. How are you gonna get Chan Woo's number? You tell me.
He came to Singapore at that time.
Okay, so you're saying when they're within reach.
Yeah.
And when you can actually do something about it.
Correct.
As much as I would not like to say yes, I think that it depends. If you're just looking at physical attractiveness, hey, that person's attractive. Sometimes the thought just crosses your mind. I don't think it's anything bad. I don't think it's human to say that you'll never think of that.
Correct.
Yeah.
My answer is gonna be yes. Yes, I think it's okay to find someone attractive other than my partner, but no, it's not okay to act on it.
Of course.
It's not okay to strike up a conversation with this person or constantly text this person because then it crosses the line.
I would go as much to say as I don't even think it's okay to like their Instagram posts if you find them attractive. Unless they're your very close friend, then there's something else wrong there. That you find your very close friend attractive of the opposite gender or the gender that you're interested in. That is also a bit.
Okay, so you feel like even liking Instagram posts is crossing the line.
I think it doesn't send the right message. Also, it's not
okay,
respectful of your partner.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow,
if you
interesting.
girls had an ex-fling that you still find attractive and you're liking this person's Instagram post, reacting to their stories while you're in a new relationship, I think that's disrespecting your partner.
Okay, but that's because this person is my ex-fling.
Yeah.
What if this person is someone that I just find generally attractive?
Whose pictures are Andrew allowed to like?
Mine.
Okay, what if
Is
today
that a
Andrew
question?
likes Zura's photos?
That's fine.
My
Okay.
photos.
That's fine because you guys are my friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Close female friends of his?
He doesn't have any.
Okay.
Yeah. Mary's like, yeah.
My next question is that possible? Really?
Female friends, yes. Close female friends, no lah.
Okay. Female friends, he can like?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Female friend that you don't know about?
Hey, are we putting Andrew in danger tonight?
He's gonna call you guys and be like, what are you doing? Okay.
Talking about-
Depends. I would think that if you find someone other than your partner attractive, you don't have to go to your partner and say, hey, I think this guy is cute. Why would you do that?
Oh, I will do that.
See, we have two different camps here. Okay.
Explain.
Yes, explain. Why would you do that?
I'll do that. I'll cute.
What do you gain from that?
Yeah.
Honesty.
Okay, I totally get where Zura is coming from. In my early 20s, I felt the exact same way. Like, if I were honest with my partner on many things, then I wouldn't make certain mistakes, because I am open with my thoughts.
Okay.
Reverse psychology, Sometimes the more you hide it, the more you want to go and do it, this thing that you're hiding.
Example.
Okay.
Okay, let's say we're together.
Okay.
And we're sitting and an attractive person walks past. Doesn't matter gender. Do you think it's okay to talk about it?
I think there are better things to talk about. There are. Truly, how's that consequential to your relationship?
Okay, if I were with a guy today and a hot girl walks past, I would say, wow, she's so pretty.
Me too.
But if a hot guy walks past, I would remain silent because I don't want to put my date in an uncomfortable position. Like, what do you mean he's handsome? What about me? If it can't bring good to the relationship, then I better shut the fuck up.
Yeah, so how
question.
does saying that a girl is hot?
Correct. So if you say a girl is hot,
It doesn't jeopardize. That's what I can say.
no, if he agrees,
Jail! Like, no,
That's a very good
you said like,
point.
oh, the girl's hot. Then he looks up, he's like, oh yeah, she's hot. And then stares at her as she walks past and stares at her ass.
then I will say, oi, must that so long not?
But you brought her up in the first place.
Yeah,
Okay,
then how?
everybody take a deep breath. Clearly, this is a sore topic for a lot of people. Okay.
Okay, do you think then the better way to phrase it would be, oh, do you think she's pretty?
Why you want to start a fight?
Yeah. You're opening up a can of worms, I
You're
feel.
waking up wanting to go into war. There's always like the guy goes out, then the guy comes home. Hey, baby, I saw some girl that looks like you. The girl says, is she pretty? What's the right answer here?
You're prettier. This confirm plus chop.
But that's
the
saying
best
she is
answer.
pretty, but you're prettier. Is
Yes.
that the right
correct.
answer?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
I mean, of course, that girl is allowed to be pretty. There's so many pretty girls out there.
Correct.
They can't all be ugly, right?
Correct. I also am self-aware. I'm not like a VS model, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. We gotta have some self-awareness.
Correct,
in our hearts,
correct.
Yeah?
Out of the three of us, you are the closest to a VS model.
Yes.
So I think you can.
Yes, Zura.
You can own that very much. But
Come on
okay.
YouTube to check out translucent see-through top. Yeah.
Please. I think temptation, as we have now established, is gonna be all around us.
Of
And
course.
when you get into a relationship, it's there, right? But it's whether or not you act on it. And I
Correct.
always thought that it was about self-control. Like when you're in a relationship and let's say like, oh, you're really attracted to this person, but it's controlling yourself not to act on it. But I was reading online, I was learning more about it. It's actually about self-awareness.
Okay.
Let's say, right, I am aware that
You're attracted to this person.
I am attracted to this person, but I'm also aware that I want to be honest and loyal with my partner.
Correct.
I have integrity. Let's say if I have kids, I want to be this kind of person for my family.
Okay.
If I'm aware of that, then that won't make me act on it. Because controlling is like taking an iPad away from a kid, but the kid's always gonna want the iPad. It doesn't stop the root of the problem. Self-awareness is where it has to
Right.
be. If your self-awareness tells you that I'm not a man or woman with integrity, I'm okay to cheat, then that's on you.
Agree.
Because I think at the end of the day, when you're tempted or when you're going to see someone attractive, right? And you're like, oh, I think what holds you back is
It's your moral compass.
correct.
Yeah. In fact, in a recent study, nearly 3/4 of women admitted to experiencing attraction towards someone other than a partner. And most reported that these crushes didn't affect their primary relationship, and the majority did not discuss these attractions with their partners because it ultimately feels wrong. So that's what we're talking about. Like, you feel it, but you keep it to yourself. You work on it. Like, you don't act on it.
Question. See and feel is different or same?
Different lah. You see and you feel different lah. See is I see like that. Feel is I feel you like.
No, not feel, not touch.
You mean feel in your
heart.
heart. I believe the first step is always seeing.
Yeah.
The feeling comes after. And if the feeling comes, it might be because you acted.
Feeling
or what
is
you
already
saw.
emotionally cheating.
You think so?
I think so.
I think so.
You know, this licensed professional therapist, his name is Jeff.
My name's Jeff. Sorry. sorry.
Intrusive thoughts.
Really.
He basically caught TikTok's attention because he said it's actually completely fine to be attracted to someone else when you're in a committed relationship. I gotta say, I agree with this. We can't stop ourselves from being attracted to someone else. Let's say you set out a list of ideals. Like I set out a list of ideals for my partner. I want my partner to be handsome, to earn a certain amount of income, to be of a certain height, to be good to his family, for example. But when a person comes, how many points does he actually hit? And there's always going to be someone more handsome, more tall, more with more income, more insert trait here, whatever you're looking for. What's going to happen when that person comes?
That's why I always talk about the 90-10. When you have 90% in your partner, they're always going to be missing a 10, but you're always going to be searching for that 10. And then you're going to find that 10 in someone. But that person might just really be that 10 lah. That's it.
That's all.
Correct.
They don't have the 90. Yeah.
So I don't think it's worth throwing away what you already have for something else that might bring you momentary happiness.
Exactly. So here's the danger, right? Now you see someone who's attractive. What if this attractive person flirts with you?
Then it's on you whether you want to react, no?
That day, my boyfriend accused me of flirting with a guy. Can
Tell
I tell
me
you the
more.
story?
Tell me.
So this is a guy that was interested in me, and I found him attractive when I was single-ish, but not so single-ish. Like,
Is that who I think it is?
yes, so
Okay.
single-ish, but not so single-ish. It was kind of overlapping with the time that I started hanging out with my boyfriend. We weren't dating or in a relationship.
Okay.
Right? So you can be attracted to multiple people at that time, right?
Yes.
So I bumped into him the other day, and I had heard that he had a girlfriend, right? And he was with a girl who I thought was his girlfriend.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, long time no see. Is this your girlfriend? He was like, no, I'm single. I'm not in a relationship. Then I was like, oh, I don't know. I might have heard wrong. Then me, in my inebriated state of mind, I said, oh, what's your type? Like, maybe I have a single girlfriend that I can,
Introduce to you.
introduce to you.
Okay.
And then he said to me, I can't tell you what my type is. I was like, why? He was like, because you have a boyfriend now. So I said this to I just told my
that's
boyfriend.
a very good pickup line though.
I
Just
have
saying,
been
just
picked
saying.
up. I'm picked up already. So I told my boyfriend this, and he was like, I think you kind of flirted with him.
Why would you tell Andrew that?
But I thought it was
Yeah.
But okay, cause I know that this guy used to be interested in me, and I was interested in him. In the
Okay.
past,
Yeah.
I felt that this was a conversation I should just be open and honest about.
Because nothing happened there.
You know, my date actually told me I wanted to be open and honest with him about like all my previous relationships. I think I mentioned this to you before, but he actually said, if it doesn't help the relationship, don't tell me. And I was very baffled
Oh.
by what he said because in my heart, I was all like, I just want to be open and honest with you about my past. Why don't you want to hear it? And he asked me, first of all, do you think it will help us grow as a couple? And I was like, it won't damage the relationship, that's for sure, but I don't know whether it will help the relationship. And then he was like, okay, then maybe it's better that you don't tell me.
That's a very mature way of thinking.
You think so?
I would want to know everything.
Yeah, sometimes in my heart, I'm dying to tell him,
And more.
And
Yeah,
more.
and more.
What if it's not there? I want to know also.
Yeah, and he always says, temptation is everywhere. It's inevitable, actually. But you really got to stop yourself before you cross that point of no return. Be it sending each other one text every day
Or up to cheating, right?
Yeah.
That's the worst possible situation.
correct. I think the little things escalate, they build up,
Yeah.
Even if it's one text a day. You start looking forward to the text and then you text more and more and more, and ultimately, what are you doing with your life?
I don't know if you girls have ever heard of this website. It's called Ashley Madison.
Ah, yes. I've heard of it. It is
No.
the website that allows married couples to cheat.
To look for affairs.
You mean this is like swingers?
This is like my partner doesn't know that I'm cheating on them, but
It's like Tinder for married people.
exactly,
Oh.
exactly. But this was almost like 9 or 10 years back now.
Oh.
Basically,
It's called what?
Ashley Madison.
Who's Ashley Madison?
The creator of this website?
No, I think it's just like a persona that.
Okay,
Poster girl
okay.
for
Yeah.
cheaters or what?
So basically, what happened was, because obviously, this is not good, right? To have like you said, Tinder for married people.
Yeah.
Marriage is still, the sanctity.
Sacred.
The sanctity of marriage and all that should be respected. So an anonymous hacker group threatened to leak the data of all these married people
Do it!
on the website. They did. Sis, this happened 9 years ago. I'm here to tell you that they did, and it caused a lot of marriages to break up. Imagine you're married 10 years, 2 kids, and you see your husband has been on that site.
And this site actually prided itself on the security and the privacy of all the users, which is why people who are most loaded, they have all the resources, power, money, they all went to this website in search of an affair, thinking that they're very protected.
Have the hackers been given a Nobel Peace Prize? They should.
You should give them one. But I think this also begs the question, right? For people that really cheat so blatantly, a lot of them said that one of the key reasons was they wanted to seek excitement outside of the marriage.
I understand that excitement is an important aspect in married people's lives, but why can't you seek this excitement between yourselves?
I think the problem is everybody wants excitement and, thrill is always fun. But at the end of the day, isn't it on you to sort of weigh like which one means more to you?
Correct. The opportunity cost. A moment of excitement or a lifetime of a stable relationship.
Yeah, but they think that moment of excitement will never be found out. That's why they did it. Which is, yeah, it's really fucked up. I don't disagree, right? But hypothetically, if everything was going swimmingly in your relationship, would your partner cheat? If they're not like psychopathic or something.
I think even in the best of relationships, it's not exciting all the time. You get into a mundane, you get into a routine. If you have kids, you might not have time for each other in a while. And I think that tempts people.
Correct. That's why I think from the get-go, it's very important for you to find someone close to your ideals. If you have a certain list of criteria, sure, list it out and find someone who fits what you're looking for. Because when conflicts come, when quarrels arise, you're gonna fall back on why you're in love with this person from the very start.
Yeah.
There's this guy on TikTok who says that the basis of true love is friendship.
I don't deny that.
With a strong basis of friendship, you will always like that person.
I agree, but I've seen situations where the friendship aspect is very strong and there's lots of love. After 10, 20 years, you become roommates with a very strong friendship and you seek something outside of the marriage to find that love. Friendship is not enough to keep that love. And I even know of couples who, like online, right, on Reddit, they truly 100% believe in separate beds, separate bathrooms for their whole relationship to keep things exciting.
Yeah, if it's what like works for you to keep the attraction level high in your relationship, go for it. I have a girlfriend, you know, she's very open with me about her sex life. And she had told me that she and her boyfriend, they do a lot of role play.
Okay.
I can never, I'm sorry.
Why?
I
Okay.
cannot.
Okay,
How?
I don't think I can accept it too.
Okay.
But she tells me it really, really makes a difference to their sex lives. She feels like that really spices up the sexual intensity, and
Oh, I could never.
after so long of being together, they still look forward to going home together and spending like an intimate night in.
That's really cute though.
I think that's cute, yeah. And if that's what it takes for you to keep the attraction level high in your relationship, why not?
I think that's one of the biggest things. My therapist actually told me that a lot of the couples she sees, the reason why they fall out of love is because like they haven't had sex in like 5-6 years.
Sex is so important in a relationship.
6 years?
Even 5-6 months, I would say, is a red flag.
Of course lah.
5-6 weeks is a beige flag.
5-6 weeks. I mean, it depends, you know, situationally.
Situation.
Situationally, but yeah, she says that that's really one of the biggest things. They lose intimacy. They don't know how to be intimate with each other anymore. Like, you know, share that goodnight kiss,
Correct.
hold hands, down to having sex.
You just become very close roommates, sleeping on the same bed.
I truly would never wish that on anyone, but I know it's something that a lot of people go through.
Yeah, but if some people are okay with the idea of not having sex, they are just together for the emotional support, I respect that as well. There's some people out there like that.
I always think, right, what's the oldest you can be to have sex? Like, you know what I mean? You always look at like 70, like 80-year-olds.
Correct.
Like, are they still having sex?
My
Like,
friend just told me his dad is 80. He walked into the kitchen the other day. He saw his dad squeezing his mom's ass.
that's kind of cute.
Yeah, that's kind of cute.
I kind of.
But remember we did this episode where we talked about libido?
Yeah.
And I think the doctor was sharing with us that at a certain age, women just stop
Yeah.
craving for sex. It's just a
just
body
dries up.
change. Yeah, it just dries up.
Shrivels up.
So what age is too old to have sex?
I don't know.
I think, you know, like let's say in your 60s, your 70s, like whoever, let's say you're with now, right? In 30 years from now, 60s, 70s, that love is gonna change. Like it's not gonna
Yeah.
be exactly the same. It's not always gonna be hot and heavy, passionate.
Yep.
Hopefully there will still be intimacy in the way that is acceptable to you, but it's not gonna be like young love, right?
Yeah,
A
no,
30-year-old man and a 60-year-old man, quite different.
Yeah. Fella's not gonna pounce on you every time, right?
Yeah.
30 years from now, do you think you still love your partner the same?
I don't know. I don't know. Truly, nothing in life is guaranteed.
No,
Yeah.
that's my biggest fear. Like, what if 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20, 30 years down the road, he doesn't love me for me anymore? Because we fall in love with each other at this point of our lives, right? Where we are a certain kind of person. But as time passes, we develop into different kind of people.
Yep.
And what if 10 years down the road, these two people that we have developed into are just not that into each other anymore.
I actually think what that means is that over the last 10 years, you guys have been growing apart. Because if you're truly growing together on the same plane, you'll keep loving this person year after year after year of whoever they are.
I know that people change over the years, right? The relationship that you're in now and in like 20 years, it's going to look different. But do you think that if you're in love with the core of the person, that whatever shape they change into, you will still love the person because the core doesn't change?
I beg to differ. I used to date a guy. When we just started to get together, we were on the same plane. Then we embarked on our own journeys, right? Like he did his stuff, he has his own company, and then I did my radio things. And after 2.5 years, I felt like we were two completely different people. He invested a lot of his time and energy on his career, and so did I. So maybe like what Jimmy mentioned, we were growing apart, but we always communicate with each other at the end of the day. So what does that mean? Do we just stop falling in love with each other because we are just two different people now?
Yeah, you grew apart from each other. That happens a lot, especially when you're younger.
Yeah.
Because there's so much changing in your lives.
Okay, so because we're talking about temptations, right? In this case, you're still in this relationship, let's say. You're 2 years in, you feel like you've grown apart. You're different people. Comes along someone who you're either attracted to or suddenly you feel like you've got a very good connection with something that you've been searching for in your partner and it's been missing for a while. How?
I will have open and honest conversation with my partner, which we actually did, by the way. We talked about it, and that's why we decided to end things. After trying for a couple more months, that breakup was amicable. We both wanted it. It was mutual, and I am very happy we broke up this way.
But I think that's one side of the coin, right? The other side is like, well, let's say we're still on the same page. We love each other very much.
You want to make things work out.
Yeah, you want to make things work out, but you know, we've been together like 10 years, 10 years. Every day is just routine, is mundane, like, you know, the sex is not exciting anymore. And generally, from my past experience, you don't really talk about that. You kind of just let the relationship rot away until one day someone fucks up or you break up. Like, I don't think that's the right way. Now that I'm a bit older, I would probably, like Hazy said, try to communicate that, as awkward as it may be, but like sit my partner down and be like, I think we've really been struggling. Like, you know, what do you think we can do to bring back like the romance? That's why it's very important for couples to do what they call a stock take, right? An inventory stock take. And I know a lot of very healthy couples do this. Once a month, they sit down, they talk about things anywhere from kids to finance to parenting to romance, intimacy, and kind of just tick everything off the list. Like, are we going in the direction that we want? And be completely and brutally honest with each other. And if you cultivate that habit, then it will never be awkward to do that even 20 years down the line.
I agree with that. This is something that I'm seeking in my future relationships as well.
Yeah.
We must never be awkward to talk about certain things. And we must do planning, future planning together, be it financial, emotional, spiritual, whatever. You have to be on the same page.
And that's why I always say that like tough conversations or uncomfortable conversations can still be held with like love and grace.
Correct.
Because a lot of people run away from it because they think it's like, well, the minute it's heavy, the minute it's uncomfortable, it's confrontational. But it may not be that way.
Yeah, and I think there's many ways to create a safe space for communication. Number one, even if you don't agree with your partner's point of view, try to comprehend and understand their perspective.
You should never take an accusatory tone because you guys are a team, right? So always give them the space to share, right? And listen and respect that.
Listen, I think you brought a very good point. A lot of people don't actively listen.
They just hear.
Yeah, or like they hear the partner say a few sentences and then they interrupt and say, hey, no, it's not like that. And then they get all defensive. Maybe one way to hold safe and open communication is just actively listen. Don't interrupt. Let your partner say their piece. And then, you say your piece. They listen. Fair and square.
And I think a very important thing to also, know is that while it may not be the best possible outcome, but we are all humans and all humans have intrusive thoughts. Like therapist Jeff said, that could mean like, oh, you see someone who's attractive and for a flicker of a second, you imagine what it'd be like to be intimate with that person.
Correct.
Do you know what I mean? These are intrusive thoughts. It doesn't make you a bad person because thoughts are not facts.
Yes, agree.
It's just a thought. You didn't act on it. it doesn't make you a bad person or a red flag or a cheater.
Just because you thought about it. No, it doesn't.
It's
Until
very
you do something about it, that's the
correct.
problem.
True.
And this brings me to my next point. You don't have to be 100% honest with your partner. I mean, these intrusive thoughts, I feel like they're far better off being kept to yourself, as long as you don't act on them. One final question before we wrap up the episode. Is it okay to communicate with your partner how they should be more attractive?
Valid question. Like, let's say your partner, has gotten like sloppy with his appearance, like stop shaving the beard, then like really scruffy, and stop cutting his hair or nails, like really gross. What would you girls do?
Because here's the thing, right? As much as we are not trying to be superficial, but a large part,
Stems from...
attractiveness is important in a
We
relationship.
are visual beings, right?
Yes,
At the end
For
of the
sure.
day.
Okay, if he doesn't cut his nails, I'll be like, hey babe, I have some time tonight. Why don't I cut your nails for you?
Aww.
Like, take it as a bonding activity. If he doesn't cut his hair, I don't know what to do about it because I can't cut his hair. But...
Hey, I've done it. I can do.
Really?
You send to me.
Okay, I send to you next time.
Now, what if your partner looks in the mirror and says, wow, I damn fat now, but doesn't do anything about it? What are you going to do?
I will acknowledge the fact by saying, yeah, a bit but cute what? Okay, but if you mind, why don't we go and run together? Just to compliment him. And then when he actually loses weight, you tell him, oh, how hot he looks. Hey, you got abs now. You got
Why,
lines.
it's like
What
the
did you
puppy
do?
trees lah.
Yeah, exactly.
Conditioning a puppy. I'll be like, oh, why not we eat healthy together? Like, let's, do a meal plan together. We go grocery shopping together.
Yeah, win-win, isn't it?
Yeah.
But if you say that, right, are you just avoiding an uncomfortable situation or like honesty just to keep peace?
No, I'm just approaching this situation with a high EQ.
Honestly, I think in a relationship, it's not sexy to tell your partner or bring your partner down like that. And it doesn't help their ego, their pride. Everyone has that. And as much as you want to be honest, you can't be so brutally honest with your partner. It's very hurtful. Yeah.
I agree. I think it's the art of communication. If you want to bring things across, you bring it forward in a manner that he can accept it. If not, he's just going to be against the idea of working out, of eating clean. He's going to think that you don't love him anymore. And for what? Bring down the relationship like that. Right?
Yep. And maybe assure them at the same time that I love you in any shape and form.
But that's not true.
I always say, like, what if I become really, 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 really overweight and obese? Will you still love me? Then his question will be, how fat are we talking? It's not, yes, I still love you.
Then you just get upset or what?
Huh? No lah. I'd be like,
But you can't what? You know that your partner loves you.
No, then he will turn it around and he will say, what if I...
Correct.
Then I have nothing to say.
Yeah,
So I
because,
just suck thumb, shut up.
because you love him for how disciplined he is, right? How regular he is with his workouts. You can't just like
6:30
take that
AM,
away.
no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so if you love this episode, you will also love our other episodes on like physical intimacy and sexpectations. Yeah. Okay, tune in to all our other episodes if you haven't already. Follow us on Instagram at isclarity.co.
You can listen to all of those on Spotify, Me Listen, Apple Podcasts. Turn on your notifications so when we drop a new episode, you'll know right away.
And yeah, check us out on YouTube as well and drop a comment if you have any questions that you'd like us to answer. And always remember, even Beyonce was cheated on. So it's never about you. It's always the other
Wow.
person.
We'll be back next time. Bye!
If you're in a relationship and a guy approaches you to ask for your number and or hit on you, would you tell your boyfriend that you've been hit on?
100% yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
You know why? So that guy knows that he has competition.
Correct.
He
If
should
you don't
treasure
want
me.
a lot of people waiting.
Yes. You better treasure me and cherish me.
No, I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Agree.
I will hit on you today. Then you go home and tell.
Okay.
Anyhow, yeah.